fantastic job here.
Hey, folks.
And that pink scheme.
To make it this far and to make it to this level, that competitive drive has to just be absolutely through the roof.
Just the idea of competing, putting it all on the line. At the end of the day, it's something that our egos chase.
That competitive nature is what makes us who we are. At a place like Kansas, that's kind of the name of the game.
Obviously, it's the site of my last victory. Down there 3 years ago. And so, more hungry than ever.
Yeah.
You can see there in the piece that it's very clear the maturity of both Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace. And as they enter a racetrack today that's been 23XI's most successful track, Chris, it's going to be tough to bet against those guys as we get here later this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you, Regan. Some deep thoughts. They've yet to win, but both Wallace and they're both okay in points in the big picture. But I'm just curious, but I know a lot isn't discussed about the swirling legal issues in the courts with Nascar lawsuit. Of course, they've added some drivers today to their team, but can that weigh on drivers as they prepare for races?
I don't think so. I think what really is probably more weighing on this team is expansion. They went to a third car this year. They got 4 cars with Corey Hine here this weekend. And to me, those are the types of things that take away from the details to the other teams while you're trying to figure out where all the people should be. Where should I put this guy? Is that guy good with him? All those things, acquiring more parts, pieces. When you have more stuff to put into a system rapidly from 2 cars, to me, that's the piece that takes away a little bit from each of the other cars.
Yeah, the only thing that weighs on a driver from that perspective is that steering wheel. How's this hot rod going to handle when I get down to the other end? And when they're fast, it doesn't matter. Life's good. When it's not, it's extremely hard. And you have to lean on all those people, all the people, the depth of the organization. But you talk about this organization are young, and they are hungry, and they are happy. They've won races. They've done all the things right as the group, and it's very impressive.
Been a little bit off this year from where he ended last year. As of lately, hasn't been quite as strong. But if you look at Bubba Wallace, really get the finishes that's how well they're running. And you can see that if you look at the stage points right there. Bubba Wallace scored 100 stage points. And his total points have been scored in stages. To me, they're qualifying well and they're racing well throughout the race. Maybe not, but it's kept both he and his teammate ready. Because of the organization. So,
here we go.
It's only the 50th year for that organization. All right, let's check in with our pit reporters, bouncing back and forth with drivers. And Jamie Little, who are you with?
Well, we're taking you out on driver introduction stage to determine with that first camera. So he's focused on trying to win today, Denny. Team owner, you have 4 cars today. How do you think that as you race as well?
Oh, wow, look at all the mobs coming. Okay, we can take them.
Looking forward to today, man. Beautiful day for a race. And, man, this is track we're able to do that.
Josh?
Right over here with Ryan. We're starting here in Kansas, so special place. It is nice to come back here. I think the World Group Ford Mustang has some good speed in. Hopefully we can keep it through the day. Obviously, happy weather at home. And freedom.
Okay, Missouri starting 8th today. Qualifying's been a problem for you yesterday, so what can we expect? You're starting up front.
Yeah, the little piece of metal is on the right side of the foot. I think they call it the gas pedal. You got to stop this. The thing, we've been working very hard to get those sirens better, so definitely step in the right direction. Hopefully we can continue on Sunday because our Sunday's going to be decent. So hopefully we can make some progress on our Sunday and be good for today. I'm trying to open my coat here, but still the stroke, so I have to be careful.
Careful, you're going to have sticky hands in the race car there. Good luck, Jamie.
Well, William Byron had a good time last night in the Truck Series, ended up finishing second. But how about today? What are you guys looking forward to? I heard a lot about the 24 in the garage.
Yeah, I mean, we practiced it as good as it can be. Like, I didn't feel anything in the car that made me concerned. So I obviously just felt free. I'm like, man, I just wouldn't touch it much. So, qualifying was a little disappointing. I think we just weren't quite turned out enough, but overall, I feel really confident about today, so I'm excited.
Have a good time.
Yeah, thank you.
Josh?
I think they've been looking up for the 54 team with tight ends. How you feel about today, though?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I think we've been really strong, and we're built on something for sure. So I'm excited for today's race. We got to start the back, unfortunately, because of the tire problem that we had yesterday.
Hasn't come over yet. So until they give it to me, we can listen to pregame, everybody.
Tyler Reddick underneath the driver's introduction stages over here. Tyler, get ready to start at the racetrack you have won at before. How excited do you get when you see clicks and things like that?
Really excited. Really fun yesterday in practice, and it wasn't the best lap on my part in qualifying, but it's nice when you still put a P4 with the mistakes made. So looking to capitalize on what we had practice in this race early and maintain track position here in qualifying.
All right, good luck in the race today. Chris, it's chaos back here, but the drivers are almost all introduced now. That's good. The fans love to see them before they hop in the cars. Coming up, we're going to talk with Ross Chastain, last fall's Kansas winner. Hoping to get into victory lane for this year. And the grid walk. Final thoughts from drivers in the final moments. Chase Elliott, the only driver with a top 20 finish in every race this season. And he wants that win. It's a fast track here in Kansas.
It's Saturday night. You can watch a game, or you can go.
Nothing yet.
But people make bad choices on a Saturday night. Blind dates, showing what over.
Kyle Lawson is on the pole. Then Chris Buescher, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano is your top 5. Then it's Ty Gibbs, William Byron, Daniel Suarez, Chase Elliott, and Ryan Blaney to round out your top 10.
Join in, my friend. What are you doing?
Michael Dowell,
You mean La Dolce Vita?
Justin Haley, Austin Cindric, Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, Eric Jones, John Nemechek, Zane Smith, Chase Briscoe, and Austin Dillon to round out your top 20.
The only topical pain reliever with 4 powerful pain-fighting ingredients that start with contact to target tough pain at the source for up to 8 hours.
Nothing yet.
Advil targeted relief.
Fill up on all the good stuff at Subway. All your faves packed with tons of crispy veggies and fresh sliced meats. And now buy any footlong in the app for just $6.99. Great bread, great meat, great sauce, great deal. Get on it, people. Order now on the Subway app.
I don't know about you, this time was kind of out.
I will be reducing the scholarship program to 3.
Well, I'm like a legend.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward.
Get 0.9% APR on 2025 Sierra 1500 models, or current eligible GMC owners get over $7,800 total value on select Sierra 1500 models.
Next level dog people give their dogs next level protection with NexGard Plus. One and done monthly parasite protection against fleas, ticks, heartworm disease,
Stupid
roundworms,
commercial.
and hookworms. Used with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Get next level protection with NexGard Plus.
Some folks are drawn to open country. Others crave the loud roar of a high-performance exhaust. And some like both. We call them family.
UFL Friday lights up front time. As the Memphis Showboats play with toss. That's a touchdown. That is a San Antonio Brahma.
Ha!
That is something special right there. UFL Friday kicks off at 8 Eastern. First race in round 12. Chastain set my goal is to play the spoiler across the line. Ross Chastain has scored the win, and he is going to victory lane. Let the celebration begin.
Smashing a victory watermelon has become a fun way to celebrate for the driver who comes from the watermelon farming family in Florida. It must be a big deal, Ross Chastain. We're by your car, and the commissioner, Steve Phelps, came over here to say hi. You were second last week. You won here last year, as we saw. I know where you were saying, hey, thanks for coming back to the back of the field. But how is your confidence for today?
It's good. We've got some watermelons fresh from Florida in the hauler, ready to go. If we're able to back it up with our win from last fall. But for our Busch Light Chevy, we should have been up there on my teammate with Daniel. He was 8th. I thought we were going to be 10th or 12th, and I way overcommitted in turn 3.
You were going for first.
Overcommitted is better than being undercommitted, that's for sure. So I spoke with Phil yesterday. I asked him about your guys' season, and he's like,
Yeah.
get a little better on Saturday.
Good.
What do you feel
No
like you're
comment.
missing on Saturday? Do you feel like they did a better job this weekend? Absolutely. Yesterday was better. When I look back at these races this year, Bristol, Texas, some of these races stand out, and I can't drive the car aggressively. I would have never been able to commit the way I did yesterday. Now I overstepped it, but if it turned, it was going to be a heck of a lap. But at Texas, I never had that confidence. I would have never went the throttle the way I did. So with these Gen 7 cars, I feel like you have to be able to turn the wheel and be on throttle. And with independent rear suspension and everything very symmetrical, you don't have the skew and the old Goodyear tire to lean on and track bar. So if that
Yeah, but that's a very good
I'm
point.
off the throttle. And Phil gave me that yesterday. I messed up qualifying.
So when you talk about Kansas, this has been a really good racetrack for you in general. What makes it good for you from a driving style standpoint? What makes this track fit you?
Phil Surgeon, one, makes me good here. And this is one of the tracks that New Hampshire's another one that's totally different, but that he has taught me and molded me and given me cars that will let me be confident and drive them fast. So, I don't know. I mean, we have won a truck race here with East Motorsports back our first win together. Running the wall is not something I did growing up in South Florida. We ran 3/8 mile asphalt tracks and we were in the dirt on the inside.
Yeah,
trying to just go as low as you could. And so I put a lot of work in. I've been Chevy teammate with Kyle Larson for a long time, and I put a lot of work into studying him. And driving a Chevy and driving for Phil Surgeon sure does help.
All right. We talk about it every week, Kevin and I, up there in the booth, talk about momentum, the importance of momentum. We're going to start with this. Trackhouse. Didn't have a great start to the season, right? Where's Chastain? Where's Suarez? Where's these guys at? All of a sudden, in the last few races, look at your teammate Suarez, 2 top 10s in a row. You, 4 out of the last 5. Just boom, 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 boom. Momentum. Second last weekend, fast off the truck this weekend. Is it real?
It is. It is, and it takes us some time. You see that. I mean, this weekend, this is not the qualifying effort here is not anything to compare to Texas or these other ones like Bristol. So this is a legitimate top 10 car that should have qualified there, and just the driver messed up. And I want to make sure everybody knows that because I was so vocal last week about
The driver's done a lot right, though.
Right. So yes, the executing through the races has been our strong suit.
Appreciate your candor. Real quick, our research shows you've been great at restarts. That's a major factor here. You feel we're going to see a lot of that? Is that a good thing for you?
Oh yeah. I mean, we know we at least got 3 starts coming, so there's going to be more. This is Cup racing. We like to tear them up, but there's a lot of prep that goes into that, a lot of work and a lot of effort. It's not an accident. Now, some of the numbers that when they put them on the board, I'm like, whoa, that's awesome. But a lot of the circumstances, and I feel like taking the low percentage holes on the track, but they pay off sometimes off turn 2.
They'll be calling it and watching it closer. Thanks for coming by. Good luck to you.
Good luck, man.
Appreciate Ross being with us. Let's check out how the odds are going on, what people think. And among the favorites, of course, Larson Blaney looking for that first win of the year. Tyler Reddick is on the board. Chris Buescher, you heard talk about Joey Logano as well. Now on the long shots here, these are the, I guess John Hunter, Imagek has led some laps, but these are quite the long shot for a race like today. We run more 1.5 miles than any other track. And we are in the 12th race of the season. So nobody got it right last week. That's okay. Logano surprised a lot of people. So who do you like this week? It'd be your race pick, Clint. I know you've worked on this.
Yeah, I said it earlier. I want redemption. I think it's redemption time of starting up front on the pole. It's his opportunity on this front row, Chris Buescher. I want to see Chris Buescher get his redemption.
Yeah, the guy I'm going to take, I just saw him fly here, Denny Hamlin. He's won here 4 times. But I liked what he said when he got out of his car yesterday after practice. He's like, it's perfect. I think Denny Hamlin can get it done today.
I like the guy on the pole, and I can't believe they put left in there. He picks him every week. Kyle Larson. I think it really is Kyle Larson against his right rear tire. I think that's the battle today. I agree with that.
For picking Larson a lot, but he wins a lot. Like, how do you go wrong there?
I went with the obvious. Who did I pick earlier in the meeting?
Larson. He always picks Larson, but it was nice you guys to share the big names. But hey, we've had only 3 favorites have won this year. We've had a long shot winner, and the Penske Forest, right? 0-9, and then they come in after winning the last 2 races. Kevin and Clint will head up to the booth with Mike Joy to call the race. Have fun. Jamie and I will be here throughout the race with you, and you have a shot to win free money. Playing Fox Super 6, sponsored by DraftKings. Just open up the Fox Sports app, enter your picks to play along, and one of today's questions is, Out of these four drivers, who will have the most laps led? Kyle Larson, Leah Byron, Andy Hamlin, or Joey Logano? Good luck. Joey dropped by a little bit earlier, talked about that sense of relief after getting a win under his belt. Three-time champ who has 3 wins here as well. The Midwest, known for folks being polite and courteous and always stepping aside to let others move by, but I don't know if we can expect much of that today. Not on the Kansas Speedway, where every driver will be out for himself.
Hey, racing fans, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered on all your NASCAR betting action this season. From race matchups and everything in between. This week, DraftKings has an exclusive offer for racing fans. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code TRACK when you sign up. And you can download Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour podcast on your favorite platform to stay up to date on all the storylines on and off the NASCAR track. The crown is yours.
Wait, there's a place to be.
Oh, we're going. Come on the rising wind. We're going all around the bend.
Bang.
Road trip in the ultimate playground at visitcalifornia.com.
I'll be right back.
This is my secret soda.
Let's go here for more citizens of the law.
Happy grass, happy home.
So what do you do?
We're going to feed Scott's Weed and Feed. The product is incredible.
Now's the time to kill existing weeds with Turf Builder Weed and Feed.
Feed.
This is Arby's tender 13-hour smoked brisket in a smoker.
This is Arby's tender 13-hour smoked brisket in a sandwich. This is Arby's tender 13-hour smoked brisket in a sandwich.
Arby's, we have the meat.
This is Toyota Gazoo Racing. We got fast cars and fast drivers. You're the speed teams. Now you're up to speed. You in?
Your cheeseburger deserves a nice big slice of our Sargento family legacy. You can taste over 70 years of our family commitment to high quality, real, natural cheese in every bite. You have our word on it, you have our name on it. Sargento, a promise you can taste.
Welcome to Truck Country, where sweat becomes fuel. Bumpers become bruisers, and pedals become pedestals. Where a future is written, one lap at a time, burned into history. Welcome to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Since 1925, Goodyear blimp has been inspiring fans to keep looking up, keep driving forward.
T-minus 4 minutes until the green flag.
Where legends are
made.
A road paved by sweat and dedication.
Alright.
In Kansas, speed gets you on the track.
Oh.
But you'll need brains to outthink.
Pretty bold moves out there.
Courage to outdare.
Metal, back down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way
And
down.
heart to outlast.
Unbelievable, guys.
Because here, the storms are fierce.
So, there's a bunch of them, folks.
Things are is victory. So click your heels 3 times. This is Kansas.
Just about ready to roll the AdventHealth 400. Time for the grid walk. Michael Waltrip, where are you exactly?
And it's a beautiful day, a beautiful Mother's Day. You talking about beautiful, Chris? Look at his hair. That's beautiful. Like, that's some good hair there. Happy Mother's Day. Hey, Austin, how you doing, buddy? You just wish Raymond happy Mother's Day. I met his family a minute ago, so I did. You're right.
Well, I'll take this opportunity to say happy Mother's Day to my mom and my grandma Barbara and my grandma Janice. I know you guys are watching, so enjoy the race. We're on this Menards too.
It's very bright and shiny, and it's a beautiful day. Are you ready to roll?
It's best day of the week, Mike.
Love your attitude. Let's go see what Denny Hamlin's doing. Hey, Denny, it's your old golfing buddy, Mike. You know, the guy we talk about every now and then on the podcast. Taylor, here's this. She said she'd come if I got her a fun pop. Happy mother, happy family. Oh, could you come here? There we go. Absolutely. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Baby, mother, Jordan, fiance, future wife is going to have another child here in a few weeks. Got my mom here, the reason I'm here. Got our kids, just full of women.
I kind of helped name her. Can I help name that?
Yes, I'll give you permission.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Oh, gosh.
Michael.
Michael, Joe, no comment. I got 2 words for that. No count.
Yeah, I bet you're thankful to be here.
I am thankful.
Michael, if you know what's good for you, don't dig yourself a hole. It's Michael Waltrip, everybody.
Thankful for my mom.
Can find John. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to knock you out of the way. See if we can find John. Look at this. This is what it's all about. I grew up and you did in a racing family. How cool is it for you to be able to share this beautiful holiday with your family?
It's amazing. It's nice to have Taylor here and the girls here to be able to celebrate Mother's Day, and happy Mother's Day to Taylor.
Who does everybody got?
Out there.
Put it in the chat.
A great day.
That's awesome. How does it feel to have your name on the car, Taylor?
Pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
How you doing? Good. He's doing good. Let's see who else we can find. Hey, Zane. How you doing? Doing good?
For the other great moms out there, wishing you a fast day.
By the way, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Our seat car right here, so have a good day.
And it's Mother's Day.
Yes. To all my mom and all the moms out there. My mom sacrificed so much so I could be here. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
That's a beautiful thing.
All right, got some guys back in the pack. You know, Barry, it's funny, he practiced very well with high speed, but qualified last. You got Keselowski, Kyle Busch is back there as well. Who are you watching?
Yeah, I mean, Chastain, the guy we just talked to, said his car was good. You mentioned Barry crashed actually in qualifying in a backup car, get that car fixed. So it's going to be fun to see who can pass. This track's really wide, Chris. A lot of opportunity.
Yeah, in the car we're here with Ross Chastain talking about making his way through the field on Mother's Day. Thanks for being with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise as you're able. Remove your hats and veterans render a hand salute as the Whiteman Air Force Base Honor Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to offer today's invocation, please welcome founder and chief executive officer of Pastor Serve, Pastor Jimmy Dodd.
We thank you, Heavenly Father, for this glorious day. Father, we thank you for this Mother's Day. We pray a special blessing upon each mother here. For those who might have lost a mother this year, we pray for your comfort. For those who long to be mothers, we pray for hope and for grace. For every driver, every pit crew, every race personnel, and every fan, may you bring us home safely at the end of this day. We pray these things in the matchless name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome from the United States Air Force Band of Mid-America, Staff Sergeant Derek Wilson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that
KC 130 L Leaf Fueler flying over.
land of the free and the home of the brave. That's how we kick off some All-American racing. Let's hear it for KC 135 from the 350th Air Recon Squadron.
What do you drink when you win?
That's what I do. T-minus 5 minutes until the command. I see. Oh yeah. You guys are looking that way. That's the way I was standing before. Oh yeah. Wrong button. T-minus 4 minutes.
Hello and welcome to the AdventHealth 400 at Kansas Speedway. It's about 20 miles west of Kansas City. Built at the confluence of two interstate highways on a clean sheet of paper. Now it is surrounded by sports stadiums and shopping. But what a place this is. This mile-and-a-half track has become maybe the raciest track in NASCAR for the 7th generation NASCAR Cup car. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Joy, along with Clint Boyd, who tried hard to master his home track, and Kevin Harvick, who won here 3 times. What makes this track just so much fun to drive and so competitive? I mean, 1,000th of a second at the finish line.
Yeah, well, Mike, it is very competitive, and I think from a driver's standpoint, it gives you a lot of options. You can move to the bottom of the racetrack and pull that slide job. The preferred lane is going to be around the fence, but it is a very racy racetrack, and anytime that you give the drivers option, they get braver.
Guys, if you build it, they will come. This place has been like a good bottle of wine. It just keeps getting better and better and better as it ages. You're shopping while you talk about there's a casino on the back straightaway. My, oh my, is this racetrack awesome? The puts it right up against the wall for these guys for the preferred group. But how do you pass that car in front of him if he's in it? You move around. Track is very wide. Restarts, unbelievably chaotic.
All right, Clint, where are the key players today?
They're all up front, buddy. You've got Larson and Buscher, those two. That finish that Kevin just talked about. Mano a mano on the front row. Who can outdo it? Will the redemption come to Buscher? I just said in the pre-race, man, I hope so. That was a crushing blow. It was hard to call last year. It felt so bad for him.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. There are a lot of players up front. You've got some really good cars in the middle of the field and at the back. You've got the 48 of Alex Bowman right in the middle of the field. One of our best cars in race runs yesterday. You've got probably, arguably, the best car on the mile and a half from the Ford camp, starting dead last with Josh Berry and Ross Chastain, who has been really good at this racetrack. Had a little misstep in qualifying, but that's the best that this Trackhouse car has been all year.
And you got some new faces like Corey Heim and now 4 cars there from 2311, just kind of adding into the mix. And you talked about the 2 drivers on the front row, but it's really a triumvirate. Add Christopher Bell into the mix because he and Larson have had just some epic races on dirt, on asphalt, in the Cup Series. They have battled back and forth for wins. So look at that. Chevy, Ford, Toyota, 1, 2, 3. That's parity.
We don't know what a triumvirate is. Reddick is right behind him, and then last week's winner, Logano. What do you call that? Is there a big word for that one too? Oh, I got him right there.
He's thinking. I love it. You got him thinking.
Moral of the story is, in my opinion, the hitters are all up front, and they are ready to go to battle this week. Will it be like last week? All it takes is one caution, and all be right here in Kansas Speedway.
All I know is if anyone has a who's going to be not pay off. All right, they are ready to race in American Heartland. Let's go trackside.
Kansas Speedway, help us celebrate Mother's Day in a big way. Here to deliver the most famous words in motorsports, some of our NASCAR moms.
Drivers, start your engine!
So happy Mother's Day, Gay, and to Delaney and the Fox booth and all the moms.
To tell you the truth, we could take or leave the extravagance, the attention, the celebrity.
Which, let's hear the MLN radio. Direct commercial. And
All right, the field has begun to roll off behind the pace car. Glenn, how about we get a word without pace today? Here we?
Let's do it. How about you, Kyle Busch, or Kyle Larson? Now, this is going to be a good one already. Kyle Larson, pouring the boys up in the booth here at Kansas Speedway. Boy, the Heartland Park, it's been good to you this week. We started I feel like I'm going to start over. We're live on television. Lakeside down the way. High limits race, great car race for you. You stole the pole right there at the end. Can you make it 2 in a row for the spring race here at Kansas Speedway? I finally got it out.
Well, Jamie McMurray, I feel really good about our chances today. I love this.
Two words, no count.
Away. High limits race, great car race for you. You stole. How about you, Kyle Busch? Kyle Larson, boy and the boys up in the booth here at Kansas Speedway. Boy, the Heartland. Good to you this week. We started.
There should be slick. Hopefully, you guys.
Fine, poor Buescher, you've been hard on this kid at this racetrack. Can you make it 2 in a row for the spring race here at Kansas Speedway? I finally got it out.
Well, Jamie McMurray, I feel really good about our chances today.
Jamie McCoy? Oh, shit. Come on, my man.
Surface should be slick. Hopefully, we can do a good job keeping it up front all day and have a shot at the end.
All right, buddy. Good luck out there. That's what I get for interviewing friends on the air.
Remember last year, the closest finish in the history of NASCAR, Kyle Larson stealing it right there from Chris Buescher than ever. Yesterday, Kyle Larson was the last driver to run for qualifying, and he steals the pole from Chris Buescher. But that's our front row: Chevy, Ford, Larson, and Buescher. Here's Regan Smith.
Chevy, Ford, and then Toyota.
Second looks like it, door banging all the way to the start finish line from 1 year ago.
And then the Ford.
But unfortunately for Chris Buescher and the 17 team behind me, those digits represent
Toyota, Chevy,
so much so,
Chevy, and in 10, another Ford.
Their best qualifying position for year second. They feel very good about the year. They can keep them in the top 5 all day long. They think they can maybe start to erase those wounds.
Thanks, Regan. Here's the
Yes, we did that little fall 23 on last year. We didn't get the result we wanted. We went back in the team. We consulted with our drivers. Came back with some more good stuff. How we could be better here when they came back up there. Kind of think about the car. We come along with 45 to be a major factor around here today.
Road 3, we've got last week's winner, Joey Logano, and Joey Racing's Pride. Road 4, we've got William Byron, who was runner-up here last fall. And with the top finishes in the last couple of weeks, Daniel Ferrari. And then in row 5, number 9, Rich Loya, out here outside. Ryan Williams. And class on Saturday, and again today, Michael McDonald, and I'll do that. Number 7 is Charles Englewood. We were in the 4, and Luke Martin was here. We're going to Wayne Hamilton.
And like the last time we saw Jeff Hamlin, he went up in smoke last week accepted after losing that engine. It was the worst finish of the year. This comes here in Kansas. This is his first ever CupSeries start 12 years ago. He was actually auditioning for the seat that he still holds today. As far as that car, that race car, they told me it definitely will be in contention. They feel like they have a great long run car. That 11 might be going for win number 5 here.
Jamie, that's your top 14. The rest of the starting lineup will be on the field. And a number of drivers had issues in practice or in qualifying, and there are these 7 cars that will give up their qualifying spot and go to the rear.
Well, we've got some really good cars on that list. Ty Gibbs was at the top of the chart, followed by 6. John Barry, he's been one of the best scorers all year. So a lot of good cars.
A lot of good things there, Frank. We're going to get that in a minute.
Today, Busch Lights will give you a chance to win $1,000. We'll have Busch beer on it. So we're using hashtag Busch, all for one hashtag sweepstake. Here in every lap that ends with 1 to enter.
You know, Mike, Kansas Speedway is an interesting mile and a half track. It has progressive banking, 17 degrees at the bottom, up to 20 degrees against the wall. Kevin talked about it. This gives a driver a lot of options to move around without speed. Now, today you're going to hear a lot of terms like barrel tight, barrel block, dirty air, clean air. That's where our Toyota Camry Cutover cars should be
They're gonna explain this shit.
when you hear about barrel blocking. These are two drivers weighing side by side. These two there, 4 truck downforce, and both cars up to 600 pounds. So we don't have
Goodyear is when you're behind the wheel.
30%, which is about 180 pounds. It changes the way the front tires lose grip. You keep swinging around trying to get that thing there. The driver in front keeps trail blocking. Think about like a mirror driver. The trail car keeps moving left to right, just trying to get a little bit of clean air on that road. Maybe the left foot. The guy who sees drivers moving around always falling without speed and grip, but men trying to fight clean air and help the aerodynamics of that race.
You see the demonstration in front of that car, right? That's exactly what it feels like. Definitely. It's like the front tires aren't even on. It feels like the front tires are not there. But the road here today will be that top lane, and so you'll see guys trying to run that top lane. But you've got options here, Kansas.
So for the second week in a row, we have a perfect day for today racing. 81 degrees, light breeze, full sun. Next up is over up to 127 degrees. So we go on 400 miles with 257 watts per mile. And off the last couple of weeks, it's going to go far 85 and 102 laps. There's the Toyota GR Supra that leads the field. Here in Kansas, everybody all formed up, ready to go.
When you say stage points, Mike, so important. Now I'm on board with you, Kevin. It's like we're at the end of March portion of the season, right? And I think these stage points, when we look at that bubble picture and the playoff scenario, very, very important. And I think it's put a lot of guys in the game, so we'll see how that shakes out today. But usually that starts with starting up front.
For Joe Logano, as he starts fifth, there's his rating.
Yeah, con questo momentum going, we get everything position
But we know Joey's talking the pre-race. I'm not sure what to think about it today. He wasn't 100% confident in that. So he wasn't confident last week either. Yeah, but I feel like he thought it was better last week than he was supposed to do. But the thing he did so far this week, he hired in the front.
We have 6 on board. This week, Chase Briscoe here in the Toyota Camry is number 19. Not Gillian, as far as I can time 34, that is the performance game. Here's the AdventHealth game for Eric Jones. We get a couple laps for him today. And the extra never can. And Tyler Reddick's trailing.
Here we come to green, folks. Here we come to green. Boys, let's go racing. I can't. Full wide, middle of the field. Coming on to turn 2 and 1 and 2. Let's go to Kyle Lawson right off the bat. Since he's pole sitter.
Start finish, you're 1 or 2 wide. Then it goes back to 3 and 4 when you get into the moving corner.
And on the second place around this year. Yesterday in practice, we had a lot of trouble.
And then we'll go to.
We even saw a right rear tire blowout. The lower we get that air pressure, the faster these cars run. But when you do that damage, especially if you're one of those front cars, it's the pace, the high pace that does the damage.
Cole Custard, you see what he.
Clear those tires and manage everything that they can so they can run that pressure on it because it will matter if the run goes on.
Big moves from the middle of the pack and on back. Bubba Wallace up 5 spots.
Bubba Wallace up 5.
48, who had to start in the rear, he's up 6 positions.
Chris Buescher -1.
To be strong today, and right now you see William Byron going by the 22 car of Joey
for
Logano.
4th place. Logano drops back to 5th.
No, absolutely.
family environment type of a racetrack.
Right now.
Denny Hamlin working in tandem there.
Right now, Kyle Lawson has led all 4 laps of this 267 laps.
You're going to run the bottom. You want to do just like Carson Hocevar is doing right there. You want to cover that line as you see Denny Hamlin move down below Justin Haley right there.
And let me correct, Bowman did not start in the rear. He started 19th. He was up into the top 10. He was not one of those 7 cars.
Hang on.
I was watching Heim and this big opportunity for him. He did not get a good start to this race. Slipped back. I think he's back 8 positions right now. Welcome to the big leagues, bud.
Yeah, and Corey Heim did a great job. This is his first race with
the heck is that?
11 as the 4th car. And when you look at these starts in the Cup Series, yeah, the Truck Series is chaotic, Xfinity Series is chaotic, but it's hard to get used to a start like this until you actually just go out there and do it. And he's definitely getting trial by fire today.
And there is Alex Bowman, who's moved his way up to 9th, a gain of 10 spots from where he started, 19th.
Oh.
Well, Alex Bowman was really good on the.
Let's go to Noah
yesterday.
Gregson.
We felt like his car was one of the best cars. His time showed that on every chart that we had up. So we expect Alex Bowman.
And let's go to the Lofty.
Trouble out of turn 4. One car just went up in
Trouble, turn 4. Caution. After 7 laps.
Yeah, big blow up right there. But so I can see blue smoke at that.
Why am I seeing blue smoke?
Look, it did. It looked more white than blue. Sure, it was white, as if it was coolant.
Well, it's been a miserable weekend for that 16 car. They've definitely had some trouble getting their car going up to the speed that we've been accustomed to the last few weeks.
This will become another meme this week of we've elected a pope, white smoke, and he's from the Midwest. Leo the 14th.
Leo the 14th. Well, you like the Pope.
Know how to make your business our business. Pros everything you need them. With every part you need, from brake pads County, California, to oil filters for your fleet in Orange County, Florida. It's why we built a nationwide network of parts and exceptional service. One mission to keep businesses big, small, and everything in between moving full speed ahead.
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger is a limited time. Because the best fresh never frozen beef and applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
As a person living with diabetes, I'm all about making progress. My progress is making smart choices.
That is your top 10 right there. But I'm going to put it on the floor and go back here.
Action on the track. There's something for everyone at Michigan International Speedway. Get your tickets today at MISpeedway.com.
MI Speedway.
Monday on Fox.
3 urgent cases to dive into tonight.
First, on an all-new missing person.
We don't know what happened to him. All you have is hope. That's what keeps you going.
Then, America's Most Wanted.
I lost a piece of my heart.
Anyone else is find this low life? All new America's Most Wanted after missing persons. Monday on Fox.
A diaper this sleep free sets them free. Only
I'll be
360 at the 360
right back.
waistband for up to
30
100%
seconds.
leak-proof fit on every wild child. Diaper
Find the
Squeezer
damn
360, the #1 pull-on diaper.
I am back.
Huge news. You can get a son of for just $3. Wait, I said son of. Look at the words. Son of Baconator is $3.
Son of Baconator.
For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
Liberty Mutual is all she talks about since we saved hundreds by bundling our home and auto insurance.
It's pronounced Liberty. Liberty. It's like you only pay for what you need.
Liberty and commercials.
The first caution of the day. You can play the Fox Super 6 NASCAR Challenge. Download the Fox Sports app right now and enter free to shop to win cash prizes. See the Fox Sports app for details. So under this caution at lap 7, Alex Bowman, the first to pit from 9th, and several others joined him. Larry, let's talk strategy.
Yeah, this is still outside the fuel window right here. Remember, it's about 65 minutes. They pitted at lap 8. I'll never rule out that you can't make it go, but some more strategy. 4 tires is the way to go, but don't be afraid to roll the dice, change just 2 tires, especially late in the stage or in the race. Split the stages in half, possibly coming a few laps earlier, take advantage of those 4 fresh tires. And this is the theme of 2025. Don't beat yourself with mistakes. 11 pit road speeding penalties in Texas, 37 combined here in the 6 races. That's the most of all mile and a half track.
But it's also right in line with the theme of 25. I like what you said right there. Get yourself differentiated with the rest of the pack. Do something different, and you never know, it might play right in your hand.
And on this restart, you will feel like you have a huge advantage because of those fresh tires being on the car. Used tires and a restart here are really tough, especially when the pack is so congested like it is here at Kansas.
Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell will lead them back to green.
We're back on the green.
Really good start from the outside of Bell.
See if he can keep the truck position on him on the exit of 2. So it's going to be important. I think he's going to drive right by him, Kevin.
Look at that lane right in the middle, shoots the gap, gains a couple spots, and that's a very typical move here in Kansas. Everybody will get a block the bottom and the top, and now that middle lane opens right up. You see it again. That middle.
Oh, he's wanting to move up. He's going to.
Ooh, almost took him out.
Larson brings him off the corner with the lead.
Larson brings him off the corner with the lead.
Cars trying to side grab and take the air off each other.
And you see Christopher Bell fade to that high line, Busher down to the right, Larson runs the middle, and that's what you want to do. You want to go over there, not just like we showed in the beginning. That front downforce on that car brought directly to hit somebody is definitely not the way to go.
Ah.
Big nine cars here. With one car, Corey Hine, in the middle, backing up. And Denny Hamlin trying to shoot the middle and gain spots as they go back to 1. Well, this is that.
Going into turns 1 and 2.
You have guys on old tires. Kevin, you talked about how hard it is to get older tires going at this racetrack, especially when you have people with fresh tires right behind you.
Yeah, and you see Kyle Busch leading that charge right there, and Ty Gibbs on the outside of him as they split the 33 car of Jesse Love, and Ricky Stenhouse is next on that list for those guys with tires.
Denny's in trouble.
So easy to get your momentum broke here when you get behind one of those guys.
Yeah, well, not just that. It'll stack the whole field up, basically. That's what it'll do.
Yeah, a lot of times you turn 4, the wall comes back at you, so it's a
yeah, you don't want to hit that.
Especially when you get just a snip when you're behind somebody, it'll take off on you quicker than you expect.
Danny Hamlin was one of those cars that pitted. He came in from 12th. They took 4 tires, slipped all the way back on that restart. Turned about 28. He's back to 31st, actually making some. He was back to 32nd. But Mike was just yelling. He is not happy with this race car at all.
Yeah, and sometimes on a restart, that can give you a really bad misread. When the cars are 3 wide and you have all the traffic and that dirty air, you can get yourself into a position where it just feels absolutely horrible.
Well, note the inside line of the track is a single white line, and that's reference for the drivers because they come off turn 4 and through the front straightaway. That is not an out of bounds line. You can go anywhere you want as long as it's paved. And we've seen Austin Cindric and others driving way low at the start-finish line, way off the normal racing surface, trying to gain position and gain some ground.
I would advise against that. With all the tire trouble that we had yesterday, dipping down onto that apron and the way that it spikes the tires, I would be very, very careful about going on the apron unless you have to.
Well, here comes Cindric right behind Joey Logano.
Yeah.
Speed for 8th place. Chase Elliott just ahead.
If you're new here, come on in.
Oh, wow. Reddick got in the wall almost.
Reddick almost got in the wall.
Reddick hit a hustle into Barry. You talked about Barry. Started dead last in the trunk to the field. Look at here. Here we go. Top 10 right there.
Yeah, you got a couple cars right there in one with Reddick. You can see the paint, the lettering off the right side tires definitely got into the fence.
So Barry started last, restarted 20th, and has worked his way up to the top 10.
Well, we know that 21 car of Josh Berry has been lightning fast pretty much everywhere that they have been. Sure, they haven't got the finishes and things that they feel like they should out of the speed of that car, but last week he was leading the race at Texas when he spun out, and he had plenty of speed.
Now, right with him, Ryan Preece. Preece is up to 13th. Of the drivers who stopped and took 4 tires on the first caution, he is the best of them right now. He restarted 27th and is up to 11th.
We saw Ryan Preece qualify bad last week and qualify bad again this week, but that car has been very similar to the Chris Buescher car from RFK. They have both had plenty of speed to race in the front of the pack, and Ryan Preece is making his way towards the front quickly.
Larry?
Yeah, Mike, I'm monitoring throttle and brake on the top 3, Larson, Bell, and Buescher. Throttle, they're all about the same. They really have to play with the throttle a lot on the exit of the corner. But Chris Buescher at 17 is using a lot more brake, actually at both ends of the racetrack, than Larson and Bell.
I think you have to be careful using brake at a track like this, Kevin. It only builds temperature in those front tires, which will make it tighter yet. Sometimes you have to use the brakes because
if you're also watching the Young Go Latino stuff, you're one of the sub. Come on back.
We see as Ryan Preece goes around Josh
One of
Berry
my
on the top side right there. But
channels.
it is one characteristic just to kind of tap that brake to just help set those front tires.
Have to be careful. Too much obviously slows you.
We both cover this
Using the
Kansas
brakes, but
place.
that temperature in the tires builds
It's always
up
a good
pressure. They don't
track
like that.
to call.
3 Chevys, 2 Toyotas, and 5 Fords.
3 Chevys, 2 Toyotas, and right now 1 Ford.
Christopher Bell and Chris Buescher on
Well, one Toyota, 2 Fords, and a Chevy.
The Indy 500
in the
doesn't have
top 5.
It has bricks, riddled with oil, dirt, and 113 years of history.
115 years of history, the Indy 500. Good.
This baby hits 88 miles per hour. You're gonna see some serious.
They wanna know if we still got it. They say that's true. They wanna know how I feel. And even when I was close to defeat, I rose to my feet. Taking my time to perfect the beat, and I still got no.
Big news! All you can eat wings and fries is back at Buffalo Wild Wings with boneless and traditional wings. And I'm gonna eat loads of them. Truckloads of traditionals, boatloads of boneless, road truckloads of both because it's all you can eat and I don't have to stop.
All you can eat wings over.
Check-in time is 3.
It's 2:55.
I know.
Is this what he's doing now?
As your host, I have some rules. First, no showers longer than 5 minutes.
No comment,
This isn't a
because
spa. No game. No fun.
it ain't kid appropriate. I'm just gonna do that instead. What manufacturer do you think will win? So far, 25% of you say Chevy, The other 25% of you say Toyota, and 50% of you say Ford. Well, we'll see.
Let's go see what NASCAR Prime's all about. Let's do this. Starting off big, the Coke 600. Green flag. Michigan? Hell yeah. And Mexico City. Mexico City? Someone say road course? Yeah. Street all 5 CupSeries races. NASCAR! It's on Prime! Come on!
27 laps complete in the AdventHealth 400 at Kansas Speedway. Kyle Larson leading Christopher Bell. William Byron and Ryan Blaney used to watch our area coverage provided by Goodyear. Since 1925, the Goodyear blimp has been inspiring fans to keep looking up and keep driving forward. Since the restart, Kyle Busch plus 21 spots.
Kyle Busch, since the restart, plus 21.
Up 18, Ryan Preece, Zane Smith, and Alex Baldwin among the big movers. Josh?
Yeah, for the 60 of Ryan Preece, I talked to him earlier today. He said, I wasn't worried about qualifying period because the new pro practice was a very strong car, a car that can handle well, and a car with speed. And he said, I used to not like mile and a half, but since coming to RFK, I've been really excited coming to these racetracks. I know we have something to compete with, and we're seeing that early as he's one of the biggest movers so far today, Regan.
Christopher Bell running in second place right now behind Kyle Larson. Current update on the cars, it's a little bit too tight in turn 3 and 4. He told Adam Stevens it is very similar to how it was yesterday, but something to keep an eye out for today, guys. I had a number of crew chiefs tell me they wanted to be tight on the front side of runs so that it would balance out about right in the middle runs and not be too loose at the end. And there's a lot of concern about how do you set up for a short run at the end of the race versus potentially a long run. So now pretty good condition.
Regan, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I've been watching these lap times, and he is that one big match. But he was 2/10 faster. He's running the leader down Larson. This car's coming on strong in the long run, Kevin. We have documented this time and time again with the 5 car in particular. On these long runs, he has a tendency to burn the right rear off of it.
Yeah, we like to joke it's Kyle Larson against his right rear tire. And how does he manage that throughout the day? Those Joe Gibbs racing cars are typically pretty good on the long runs. That's always what makes Denny Hamlin so good at these particular racetracks. So as we see this run go on, how does Larson start to fall off compared to Christopher Bell? And right now, it looks like Bell's starting to make up some ground.
So we're 31 laps in. The first 8 drivers did not come to pit road on that first caution today, Larry. What might we expect them?
Well, Mike, go back to the Larry Mack strategy. Splitting the stage in half is 40 laps a run. We did run 4 caution laps, but based on talking to a lot of people yesterday in the garage area, I'm thinking about the next 5 to 6, 7 laps. They'll be coming a little earlier than that lap 40 mark, trying to get it.
Well, we see the advantage. You look over the biggest movers.
40 to go.
Those guys have pitted. Busch up 21 spots, ladies and gentlemen. Gibbs 20. Zane Smith behind them 20 spots. Preece 17. These guys are moving to the front.
Yeah, it looked like Gibbs. I don't know if he got tight or something right there off of turn 4, but definitely checked him up a little bit. But he's been making his way towards the front there with Kyle Busch right into.
As I've been watching, trying to pay attention to those cars that stayed out. Ross Chastain, he is looking very tight off of 4. These guys are needing a pit stop, needing 4 fresh Goodyears.
Yeah, we heard Larry talk about Tyler Reddick complaining about the seams. You see Austin Cindric kind of splitting that top seam right there on board with Reddick. He's on the bottom of the racetrack. So you want to be in between those 2 seams. I always found that in turns 3 and 4, you can enter below the seam and then cross that whole seam, but I never like to actually split the seam to move. This looks more like where we expect Tyler Reddick right here, up against the fence.
But he's found that fence once off of 4.
Yeah.
Pretty early in the race.
And pit stops are the order of the day for some of those drivers who did not come in.
Here they come.
At the first caution flag.
Stein, Eric Jones, and McDowell.
Scheduled pit stops under green.
Well, just like Larry was saying, he expected some of these guys to start coming a little bit earlier than what we had originally talked about. And here they come down pit road. Walls on pit road.
Josh Berry, Austin Dillon.
And it looks like everybody's set to take four tires in fuel. Except for the Wood Brothers. This looks like a 2-tire stop. And for Josh Berry, nope, they do come around. They're going to do all 4.
And I think that's going to be the thing on these green flag pit stops. You're going to want to take 4 tires because you're expecting it to finish out the second half of this race.
Ryan Priest is waiting done. John Nemechek coming in for Chris Busher. It's in Austin Cindric.
I think Busher will be one of those guys. Those guys are going to put these leaders in soon.
Yeah, once you see a car like Chris Busher running that car through, he has a big enough lead and a little bit of a wait and see game and not lose any positions on the racetrack. That'll give him a little bit of an advantage over these guys that are pretty on pit road.
So we got a chance to there. Pit road, there's Tyler Reddick.
There you can probably afford to let a couple laps go by here. There's not too many, right?
Yeah, what I did see in this race a year ago, like Tyler Reddick in the 45, but I know he's already made his stop. They elected to split it right in half. It looked a little bleak in the beginning, but the net gain was good at the end of the second run there.
Now you got your first place car, William Byron, on pit road. I bet you see this 5 car looking to the inside.
Brexton's made his stop. And so just the top 3 there's Larson, Bell, and Blaney racetrack along with Corey Hunt.
Yesterday in practice, they hardly touched it. Ruben Hugo, his crew chief, told me so far in this race, just a little bit 40 and 3 and 4. He's come in and took 4 tires, but it seems to be good right now.
Not so good for Bubba Wallace. Equipment interference will cause him to have to do a trip down pit road at pit road speed as a penalty. As Ryan Blaney comes in.
Costly error to be stopped.
Oh, there's a look at it.
The leaders, Mike, Larson and Bell, no advantage to going further than 40 laps.
There is an advantage to that second place, Christopher Bell being that close to Larson. You can use him as a gauge coming on a pit road, gain a lot of speed on him on the entrance of pit road.
Stenhouse in as well.
Canton Belts are the 20 car. As soon as they do, the 5 car was going to pit. They immediately decided to pit and come this time as well.
Yeah.
Actually needs help with turn off of turn 4. One of the few cars I heard that was tight at that point.
All right, Cole Custer in as well. Now he was in at lap 8 along with the cars that stopped at the first caution.
Getting off this pit road, Clint, we know that you can gain or lose a whole bunch of speed on the acceleration piece of the exit of pit road right here.
That's why you couldn't wait too long. Byron just passed back right on the heels of the leader, Larson.
Well,
what was the leader?
Well, you see that gap from Kyle Larson to Christopher Bell also was a little bit wider than it was when he pitted. So definitely put William Byron in between him and the 20.
Well, yeah, that is the point there, too.
Too many pit boxes on entry, so he'll have to do at reduced speed. Now Rich Bowman, who was also in lap 8, coming back in.
Yeah, I think these guys, some of those guys that were in the back wasted a set of tires to try to get themselves track position. As now we hear Ricky Stenhouse over the wall too soon. So these pit road penalties keep piling up. We talked about how many speeding penalties in Kansas, but it's definitely going to be one of those days where we see a lot of trouble on pit road.
I was going to give Larson fits here, trying to hold on to this lap. That may give Byron an opportunity.
No, I agree.
Everything he can do to save that mirror and find
You see him moving up in front of him. You get back wide, that's going to slow Kyle Larson down. Kyle Busch comes to pit road here at 43. The first stage is 80 laps duration. Denny Hamlin goes through the lead. The top 6 have been on pit road since lap 8.
Motorsports isn't complicated. As best as you can, as sideways as you can, and your team, Toyota Gazoo Racing.
I'll be
You
right
make
back,
some seriously
everybody.
fast cars. This one and this one, definitely this one. This is weak. I put a lot. Look at all these legends. The hottest drivers right now are part of a big happy family speed team. Now you're up to speed. You in?
You can really taste the hickory on this RVC. You know, I always thought like,
Making my way downtown, walking south, nothing home down.
Days now through June 30th. Get zero down, 0% or up to $3,000 off select compact tractors. See the details and find your nearest dealer at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Don't know about you, this time was kind of better.
I will be reducing the scholarship.
It's a party.
At TomaHealth, we're delivering compassionate obstetric and newborn care for our community.
Services we have available here at TomaHealth are care for women in pregnancy from 20 weeks and up. In that postpartum period, and we can also care for women that have had different gynecological procedures. Something that TomaHealth can offer that makes us the right place for families to have their babies is that we can provide that one-on-one care. TomaHealth, caring for our community.
What should I do next?
Western has the answer. Do something that excites you.
Do
Still not
something that
commercial,
shows
but-
your skills.
Do something for you. Choose from more than 90 programs. Invest in you and spend less. Apply at Western today.
It takes fire and iron to sizzle the cookie. For Melt Black Label Microwave Ready Bake.
Welcome back. We're finding things in life, like ordering more to save more without parents.
Mhm.
$6.99.
Well, yeah. You make a good point, folks. Papa John.
48 laps complete in the AdventHealth 400 at Kansas Speedway. We're racing to the end of stage 1 at lap 80. And a couple of drivers have rolled the dice. Kyle Larson has cycled back to the lead, but in second spot are just now William Byron, going by Ty Dillon. And Ty Dillon and Riley Herbst are on the economy run, Larry. They last pitted at lap 8, and they missed it. So they pitted with 72 to go. Pace right now, low 33s, mid 33s, that pace, they should be able to make it. If they can't make it, I have no idea what they're doing right now, unless they're just trying to bank it. Well, that didn't make it off the turn 2 right there, but even if they do make it, we're going to lose a lot of spots here. I don't know that it's going to be a net gain anyway.
Well, way off the pace. It's that hope is a bad strategy, and I think that's the way it's probably going to work out this time.
Gotten me through many years in life. Well, one of them got me as other drivers are trying to make their way to the front. So they are 2 seconds off pace. Right now, Ty Dillon is, but he's in 4th place with 30 laps to go in the stage.
Yes. Yep. Hey, yes.
Then move. Move. Turn it off.
They're in the 5th. So let's talk points. And as we race to the playoffs after race number 26, we average 13 regular season winners. Now, most points go to the bubble by non-winners. These fellas are in a pretty safe position for now. But it's not over. Look at that cup line below Ricky Stenhouse. Kyle Busch only 12 away
But with 20 points, minus 20 on back, only one driver has ever come out of that group and made the playoffs.
When you see a big hit, like Clint just highlighted right there, A.J. Allmendinger took a big hit. Michael McDowell last week took a big hit at the end of those races. So, and the points matter.
Flip side of that, Ricky Stenhouse finished last week in Texas. He is struggling today. This is going to be a battle right down to the end. The double picture of the playoffs. So important with a lot of good teams involved. Every point matters. Now, stage points by drivers who have not been to victory lane, but Wallace leads that list. Ryan Blaney, they have capitalized. So have Reddick and Bowman. Been important for Chase Elliott.
Yeah, but Bubba Wallace said, I mean, those guys have qualified well, put themselves up in the front and had a penalty today. He's now 2 laps down. So it's been a tough start to this race for the 23 car with all the circumstances that he's having to deal with.
Sure. Josh? One update on 22. During that first run, that car was just way too loose. He had to run, but they came into the pit. He got 4 new tires. They told him the tires were good, but the balance is still not breaking that spin loose. So they're fighting the very loose car right now. How about the run for this 6? 15 right. Trouble yesterday with the tire going down, but they had a lot of confidence. And the team told me earlier today they felt like they could pass their way towards the front. Well, he is at the top of the list of drivers who need a great day and past champions who need to vault into the top 25 in points. I think he's in the must-win stage, Kevin.
I agree. I think that the 6-car Brad, a lot of talent behind the wheel, a lot of leadership. But I think that with the way that this is all gone and as far behind as they are from that 16th position, I mean, they're going to have some pretty miraculous stage.
Who have made 2 pit stops. Only 10, and that's Alex Bowman in 7th place, 11 seconds off the lead. 2 Chevys up front, and they're Everett cars, Larson and Byron. Then Bell's Toyota in 3rd, and the first 4 is Blaney in 5th.
When you live with diabetes, progress is having your coffee like you like it, without an audience. The Freestyle Libre 3+ sensor tracks your glucose in real time, but everyone else doesn't have to. And over time, it can help lower your A1C. Confident choices for more control of your life. This is progress. Learn more and try for free at freestylelibre.us.
To tell you the truth, we could take or leave the extravagance, the attention, the celebrity, the bragging rights, the bravado, because all we've ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel.
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. With the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Olsen and the Braves, Battle Difference and the Red Sox, or the Twins, take on the Brewers. Baseball Night in America, Saturday on Fox.
We were born on the battlefield and answered the call. From the original Freedom Machine came the original SUV. The Jeep brand has always stood for the Jeep brand dealer today. Enjoy the family. Jeep, America's most patriotic brand.
Now with employee price purchase, you can handle $3,400 below MSRP.
Did it pass the tissue test? Dr. Garcia, buckle up. There's toothpaste white, and then there's Crest 3D White Strips white. Oh, one second. Crest
fast 3D white strips safely work below the enamel surface to whiten like a $400 professional treatment. The #1 teeth whitening brand in America. And use Crest 3D White toothpaste to maintain your smile. Crest.
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best pepper, fresh, never frozen beef, and applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Kyle Larson leading by 3 seconds with 18 to go in stage 1. In 2 weeks, he'll be in the Indianapolis 500 on Fox. Helio Castroneves is looking to become the first 5-time winner of the 500. Besides Helio, 3 other legends have won the Indy 500 4 times. Can you name them? No.
Gentlemen, Kyle Larson, that Kyle is going to try his game, and I think he can do it. He got so close. I was so excited last year watching him do that.
Can I pay this off, please? Al Unser and AJ Foyt. It was the first to win 4. What a cool looking picture. Look at that right there, huh? Indy 500 on Fox in 2 weeks. Here at Kansas, William Byron is edging into Kyle Larson's lead. Since we came back from break, he's cut it by half a second. Christopher Bell in 3rd. Elliott 4th. Blaney, the first 4, in 5th. And the 2 drivers that were trying to stretch it without an extra stop, Riley Herbst has now gone a lap down. Well, Ty Dillon remains on the lead lap, but back in 24. He's Tom Reddick, 2nd of the, or 3rd of the Toyotas now that Denny Hamlin has gone by him. Reddick in 16th right now.
Byron did say, oh, I think he might have a right rear flag, Kevin. Well, that's what we talked about.
Right side back. No debris, no caution.
Well, that's what we talked about. The teams are really going to push these rear air pressures because the lower you can get those tires, the more grip that car is going to make and just mechanical grip in general. So now that they're on a green flag run, that's going to be much tougher on those air pressures than all the caution lights and things that we had at the beginning of the race.
I mean, it was definitely down, not because of the light that he got on the wall.
But he did a nice job of getting that car under control into pit road.
You see how slow he's going all of a sudden? I think he feels it out there.
Yeah.
So we stayed green. Here's Byron's radio just before he got into the wall. So we ran 27 laps prior to that happening after the pit stop.
Yeah, so what happens when you let that pressure down? That's why we're talking about you got to be really careful with the car and how fast you go at the beginning, because when the car goes faster, it travels more, it hits those stops more, that puts more load in those tires. And I think they probably just got a little too aggressive right there, Clint.
We have found the line.
Well, we found it a lot yesterday.
The left side to the right yesterday.
We did. Both pretty effective.
Saw both,
yeah. Both with the most you want the air as low as possible.
Ouch. Oh. That was our game.
Loose.
Kyle Busch moving up. He's in
that 8 car has been
I just
go that long. What happens? It gets damaged in the first lap or two. But it's really to go into a run as we just saw.
And here's Byron's radio. Is that what?
Well, that's important for them to know because they want to know if they need to put more air back in the tire. They got to make an adjustment to those air pressures to make sure that that doesn't happen again.
So Byron is now 1 lap down.
When he got it gathered up and saved himself a lap, he's only 1 lap down.
A problem about halfway down the back straightaway to slow that car down and actually so that it didn't spin out. It actually spun out on pit road when he came in, but he saved himself from spinning out on the racetrack.
We have fixed this 11 car. Denny Hamlin is moving to the front and doing it in a hurry. Taking a moment to put him down.
And as he passes Josh Berry, I'll put him into position for stage points.
Yeah, it's definitely been quite the metamorphosis, for this 11 car from where he was 20 laps ago. I mean, he was in the back, Clint, having a tough time trying to even make his way to the front. All of a sudden,
This last time by, Denny Hamlin was the fastest car on the racetrack at 31.86.
And we saw that a little bit yesterday in practice, maybe not to the extent that we've seen it during this run, but he didn't take off. He was actually like a half a second slower than his teammate Ty Gibbs on takeoff speed, but that long run speed was lights out.
Yeah, he did exactly what I had explained, and I saw a couple of teams do really wrong. They paid the price in the beginning, but now they're paying the dividends as we're coming to the end of the stage.
5 to go in stage 1. Jamie?
William Byron's tire went down. It happened so fast, he came right down pit road. His team had to scramble. Ryan Patton is the tire carrier. You didn't even have a chance to put your gloves on, right? You carried the hot tire and blisters all over your hands. How are you?
Yeah, it's not an ideal situation, obviously, but there's a lot of communication going on. The car's on you quick, so definitely we're stall 18, which just past the start finish line, so we have a little bit of time to react, but a heads up call by Rudy to put the qualifying set on from yesterday, so we're exchanging the sticker tires to the scouts. You got to make sure you got the right foot corrected, the right grip corrected, so we put the tires on the car. Everything's good, so just a crisis situation.
Some blisters on there.
Wow. That's dedication right there, Jamie. All right, 3 to go in the stage. 4, 3 Chevrolets, 2 Toyotas. Bell and Hamlin, Joey Logano in position to get the final stage point.
Well, Kyle Larson he would fall off. So far today, it's been nothing but perfect from that 5.
Chase Elliott coming up the challenge, Chris. Uses up all the track and all the apron.
One thing we haven't Kyle Larson all the way to the 20th racing car. That's not something that we
are not losing.
Yeah, where are you going to go?
Yeah, Dylan, host to the stage, right at the tail end of the loop.
They saw Dylan has stayed out, and he might make it on fuel, but it cost him. He's all the way back to 34th place, a lap down.
Yeah, he's actually running 35-second laps, and the leaders are in the 33-second bracket, so it's been ugly.
So Kyle Larson does not force the issue against those 3 drivers who fall back into the Chevrolet who stay on the tail end of the lead lap. And Larson gets his 7th stage win of the season. That's more than twice as many. Keep an eye on Green since
Penske cars. Kyle Larson, to no one's surprise, starts on pole and wins stage one.
There's a reason she doesn't throw torpedo America. Often keeps shooting, steady, unwavering. Like the people who keep this country moving, doing what they do best. Helping, pitching in, and getting it done. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Here they are, the crispy strips, long, tender, juicy chicken made for dipping, or rather, double dipping. But why stop there? Keep going. New McCrispy strips now at McDonald's.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces passing homebound. And I need you.
What are you drinking when you drink
Drink the milk.
We drink the milk.
Maybe that helps me get it going from 100 Days to Indy, streaming May 22nd on Fox Nation.
We were born on the battlefield and answered the call that America needed us most. From the original Freedom machine came the original SUV. The Jeep brand has always stood for American freedom. Now we're standing with you with Employee Pricing Plus. Visit your Jeep brand dealer today and join the family. Jeep, America's most patriotic brand.
Now with Employee Pricing Plus, purchase and get an average of $3,400 below MSRP on 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee gas models. Hurry in. Offer ends June 2nd.
She says. There's toothpaste white, and then there's Crest 3D White Strips white. Oh, one second. Crest 3D White Strips safely below the enamel surface to whiten like a $400 professional treatment. The #1 teeth whitening brand in America. And use Crest 3D White toothpaste to maintain your smile. Crest.
We started in Brooklyn in '78 and quickly learned we weren't building exhaust. We were building excitement, giving drivers that same roar of victory on their way to work that they heard at the races. Almost 5 decades later, nothing's changed.
Buying a car is kind of a big deal. You need to see all the options. See, she knows. Car Guru is the most new features right in your hand. So you know your big deal is the best deal. Car Guru's #1 most visited car shopping site.
Welcome to Truck Country. Welcome to the Nascar Craftsman Truck Series.
Saturday it's baseball night in America as Matt Olson and the Braves take on Alex Bregman and the Red Sox, or you'll see the Twins battle the Brewers. Check local listings for the game in your area Saturday, 7 Eastern on Fox. Stage 1 complete, waiting for pit road to open. Jamie?
Well, Mike, 1 month ago, Kyle Larson got a new pit crew except for the gas man, and so far, he has executed. Let's meet you.
Mr. Warlock, front tire changer. Fun fact about me is I like crazy socks. Mike Moss, rear tire changer. I enjoy watching anime. Kyle Stallings, frequent college football All-American. Eric Ludwig, Jackman, all university, playing football in Nascar. I'm Brandon Harder. I'm fortunate enough to be at Hendrick for this will be my 18th year.
Look, Daniel was the crew chief, Tyler Warren, the starter, up on the roof. And, each pit member has his own special way of doing things. Watch the jackman here.
I love all these different styles, Mike, and it's all about what makes you the fastest around that car. And you're going to see some guys that grab it naturally like that. That man didn't get behind the back, which covered this.
It's all started with it. TV, everybody said, is there a better way of doing what we do? Let's find out. That jack weighs 21 pounds.
Well, it's very reminiscent of Junior Johnson back in the day. They kept the Junior Johnson line. They all learned that from him. His was about 80 pounds though.
For the top 5 pit crew rankings this season of the rankings of the current top 5 drivers. Larson, the highest of that list, along with his Hendrick teammate Chase Elliott. The road is open, Josh.
Start with the 9 and Chase Elliott finished second in stage number 1. His report was that the car was getting a little too tight towards the end. No adjustments, just 4 tires and fuel. Jamie.
Ryan Blaney in the 12 as he makes his way on down from the top 5. Needs the balance to be just a little bit better. You're going to see these adjustments on every stop for every one of these drivers out here. The conditions are changing out here, Regan.
Christopher Bell, the 20 car, started the race off a little on the tight side. They've actually transitioned to loose with it. Like that for traffic.
Larson and race off pit road. Elliott, Blaney, Bell, and Bowman. Well, ever since NASCAR on Fox came on the air in 2001, one of our cameramen up on the roof was Tony Marshall, T-Bone we call him. And he was the best at finding action on the track or in the infield or wherever it happened to be. Well, a few years ago, he transitioned off the roof and into the RoboCam trailer for the cameras that are mounted on the wall. There's Tony at work, where we couldn't put a cameraman physically at the camera. He runs those from in the trailer, yeah. Well, he's retiring. This is his Robo. It's years that he'd never been on the track. So cameraman Brad Hutton put this team together for right. It will ride. Thanks to
the NASCAR Powerball playoffs is back. Enter now to win a VIP trip to the NASCAR Cup Series Championship race at Phoenix Raceway, where you could take home $1 million. The race for the million is on. Powerball, the official lottery game of NASCAR. Welcome to the NASCAR Powerball playoffs.
This is Arby's 10 to 13 hour smoked brisket in a sandwich. This is Arby's 10 to 13 hour smoked brisket in a sandwich. This is Arby's 10 to 13 hour smoked brisket in a sandwich.
Arby's, we have the meat. Grab the suitcases and your nearest loved ones. It's the Expedia Family Getaway Sale. Members save 25% or more on select hotels. Expedia, made to travel.
It's Saturday night. You can go out and make some memories. But people make bad choices on a Saturday night. Or you could be at home, get to your seat action, and Joe Davis's Sports giving the play-by-play bedtime story for grown-ups. If it's Saturday night, it's baseball night in America. Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Great food, panoramic river views, and a relaxed atmosphere. Hot Fins on the Water is open for lunch. Everything from burgers and drinks to seafood and steaks. Try one of Hot Fins' favorites, like our Black River barbecue ribs or batter fried walleye. You definitely won't want to miss our famous Friday fish fry. Steak on the side, premium friends. You're always going to find that Hot Fins on the Water. Open daily at 11 a.m.
And 3 sketches now come the classic Max Christian. She gave me an idea to combine my favorites. So,
There's the winner of stage 1. Only once has the winner of stage 1 gone on to win the race, and that was Kyle Larson. That was back at Bristol. Taking the current Chris Larson race here atop the RCR hauler with Richard Childress, the 6-time champion car.
Tim's coming in. Kyle Busch just below the cut line. I know you're watching them closely. Jamie also watching you closely up here.
Yeah, Richard, we see most of the owners up in the suite or maybe on the pit box during the race, but you're always here on top of the 300. What is it about this perspective you like?
I can sit up here and watch the whole track, watch all three drivers today with Jesse in the car, and I just don't. Your observations overall, you just said, boy, Larson's fascinating. I mean, he's in his own zip code right now. And I think Kyle will be able to race him. I don't know about him, but he's in it. Hopefully, also he helped the 5 off, 7 lead lap. So hopefully we'll get it fixed. Who said like any of the CupSeries start.
Leaders were run. So we'll start at the back of
Cycled up to 8, but listening to this radio, people so of course that could impact his ability to save.
Chris Buescher had a 12.7-second stop and fell from 10th to 17th.
Crazy. There's plenty of reason. Helping Elliott way on the corner of the 5 car. Yeah, the problem with those guys that go to the apron or side, if you wind up on the bottom of the racetrack, you don't have any of the momentum, and then it's hard to get your car. So Elliott, that's the first time they've seen some. Alex Bowman in the mix. We talked about his car. It's good, says Nascar. Chase is doing a good job staying on his outside. A little walk up right there to close that middle lane up, and that really hurt them. Bell on the outside. Yeah, really great job. Back to the bottom. You don't finish that pass, it makes it really difficult. Maybe choose your battle wisely, Kevin. They get stuck on the inside. It tempts you to want to take every run, and this is just a racetrack where you can't take every run. As you see, Blaney move up the racetrack, put a little bit of that. Josh Berry running 7.
Consumer coming into play on the bottom. He's been making good use of that track apron, but now he wants to try to get a side draft on Bowman, and he's got Berry right with him.
It's amazing how these cars are moving around with the dirty air. They get lose the nose, as Larry showed us at the beginning of the show.
You do not want to be in the wake of that car in front of you. Alex Bowman with a big run off turn 2.
Yeah, Tony got tight right there off the exit of turn 2, and you see Josh Berry did a big run because that 48 had to lift.
And here comes Hamlin. Denny Hamlin coming up for ninth spot. Man, Cedric had to lift in a big way. Almost got collected off the 4.
And going to get passed by 5 cars. Just that much of a lift out of the throttle or a moment like that, especially when all these cars are so tightly packed together, costs you 6 positions.
Oh, big contact. Yeah, Bowman and Zane Smith got together. Smith who got the final stage point. And stage number 1's been running up here in the top 10, and he just got sandwiched.
Yeah, that was pretty heavy contact there, Mike.
And then Kozlowski. A couple of former champs wanting to break into that top 10 and mix it up. Cinder trying to recover from 14th against Reddick and Bubba Wallace.
And you see these 3 cars right here, 3 wide, 11 up the racetrack. You see Zane, he knew that he felt like the 11 was going to come up far enough that he was going to get into the side of the 48 and trying to lift.
Good bit of contact there.
Yeah, I'm not so sure they didn't shoot him up there and just get tight.
Well, squeeze just a little bit. Anytime if you're running this fast, right, if the racetrack this fast, you lose your direction and have to point in a different direction. They don't allow it. So as the Xfinity passes the side of the race, Larson, 178.29 miles per hour. A good gap for Christopher Bell and Chris Buescher.
Well, he's been fast since they unloaded that thing off the trailer yesterday. Fight on the pole, led every lap there in the first stage, and now he had a little bit of a challenge from Chase Elliott right there.
Justin Haley 15th with Reddick, Logano.
Right there, especially that 45. We expected a lot out of Tyler to turn 2, but that
Watch this, guys. About as close as it gets to a wreck.
Oh, man. No.
That'll get your attention. Kyle Larson has moved the all-time lap leader list here behind only Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex Jr.
You know that back. As touring musicians, my top 2 what my Olympic era. Specific to lower the risk of major cardio. With the risk of worsening chronic.
If you or your family have MTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it, stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck or any of these. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be. Serious side effects may include inflamed pancreas, gallbladder or severe stomach problems, or changes in vision. Call your prescriber if you have any. Taking of the sulfonylurea or insulin may raise low blood sugar risk. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, constipation. Some side effects lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems. Discover the GLP-1 with the most FDA-approved uses. Ozempic.
Check it out.
Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza is a game changer.
with 28 cheese-filled bites around the crust. Every single bite is a highlight. Bush Guy, cold and smooth survival skills. Different circles, Ross. Okay. And for the mountains.
Juicy and perfectly seasoned. It's chicken. Hello, McCrispy strips. Now at McDonald's.
Every day, they protect the land we call home. Their dedication is why they're our neighbors, friends, and fellow fans along the line. So when the green flag flies, we do too. NASCAR salutes, together with Coca-Cola, honors those who serve at home and abroad.
Opportunity for us today. 267 lap race. We're falling off. I think just about any time we get the opportunity to come and put them on, we'll and gone. So Travis will be here in the second can when we have that, and then Andy.
How it goes, candidate. I didn't think you know what you do, Charlie.
Two feet with it. Spotter up on the roof, landing his fourth. He was the first Ford in the race. One position behind him. And let's talk about the Wood brothers. Unbelievable. Had some trouble yesterday in qualifying, bit a toe link, got into the wall, bit that toe link, had to make some repairs to the right side of the car. So we knew that the 21 would be good. I don't know that I expected him to get to the front this fast, but that car has been really good, along with the car right behind him. Trying right there on the restart getting mixed up, but that car's running some good lap times right now. And it's been a wall. Outside of Dave Smith, he hit that wall pretty hard, so pretty impressive. And he's rolling to the front on the front run. And those two have been fighting pretty hard. They're fourth and fifth possession. Now you go back to then Brad Keselowski, ninth, also started this race from the rear. Regan?
Well, Mike, just to update the number 38 is Zane Smith. Keep in mind, this is a car yesterday that had a flat right rear tire. Also had contact with the rear, but they qualified pretty good. Still qualified 18. How can it sure that it would be absolutely perfect? That's how confident they were in the speed that they had in practice yesterday, and that is showing up today as he's driven his way to the top 10. Of course, a little contact with the 38 car a few laps back, but Zane has been very pleased. A little loose, a little tight at times. This is a group that's confident and having a good day.
Yeah, he's coming. His lap times are only 0.2 of a second off Kyle Larson's currently. One of the quicker cars in our top 10. Throwing a beat on Ryan Preece here. This is for eighth place.
And Smith. Yeah, you see him choose to take that middle lane right there. You definitely have to go where they are not.
Bell's starting to struggle with the long run speed of his race car. You see Chase Elliott right there behind him, waiting in tow. They run him down.
Yeah, right now, Christopher Bell is about 0.4 of a second off of Kyle Larson. So definitely something not to Christopher's liking right now with the car. Now, Chase Elliott, he's kind of stuck behind him right now. Work that middle lane and try to get that right front fender into that left rear to use that side drive to finish this pass. But definitely something not right with that 20. Jamie?
In fact, we're actually talking about William Byron a little bit ago. He's a lap down back. He has much ground. Just listening to him, extremely tight on that short run. He just told his team, I'm trying to run right certainly not shaped like you.
And Jamie, he is the 7th car 1 lap down, so nowhere near in position to go 3 past.
Larry saw those guys yesterday in practice when they had trouble with their tires. All of them was working on their diffusers overnight. You think that's the problem with Byron after that class?
You see Chase Elliott right there, able to get around Christopher Bell. I think you're going to see him drive off.
Are so good. He is so fast through the middle of the field. It's unbelievable. But there's no question. We saw it yesterday with those cars that have a flat. It definitely did damage to the rear diffuser. That's one of the most serious. The car faster than Kyle Larson at the last lap was Josh Berry. Berry sits in fifth. Larson, Elliott, Bell, your leaders.
It takes a lot to get my heart rate. There's absolutely nothing. Best drivers as a Dow Group and family Nascar experience on a full over level. Hey, I'll be on the edge of my seat. Racers, mine 5th and 6th.
Crispy chicken nuggets are back at Taco Bell, but that's chicken.
That feel very tight.
You're weird. We're totally a taco place. That's a chicken place. That's also a taco place.
My mental health was better. The uncontrollable movements called TD started dyskinesia and started disrupting my day.
TD felt embarrassing. I felt like disconnecting. I asked my doctor about treating my TD and learned about Ingrezza.
Rated 5 times in 2 weeks. #1 prescribed Ingrezza has dosing that's always 1 pill once daily, and you can keep taking most mental health meds. Ingrezza can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with honey. Call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden behavior or mood changes, or suicidal thoughts. Take Ingrezza if allergic. Serious side effects may include allergic reactions like sudden, potentially fatal swelling and hives, sleepiness, the most common side effect, and heart rhythm problems. Know how Ingrezza affects you before operating a car or dangerous machine.
Take control by asking your doctor about Ingrezza.
Hey guys, there's a change in the air.
2 changes.
2 changes.
Because everyone should feel like the center of the universe.
On a vacation into a weekend. Look, your next weekend getaway with Verbo.
What happened to enough funds at the table?
Sorry, I need to work.
Yeah, work over here too. Got texting Alan saying your business vehicle is now protected with Progressive, just like your home model.
Did you text him? I thought that's what we were doing.
119 laps complete in Kansas. Here's our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. The best seat in the house since 1925. Happy 100th anniversary to the Goodyear play. William Byron, a lap down, came in and made a pit stop, and so did Hendrick's Alex Bowman. I saw him on a good note. 7th place. Had a hard time finding Bowman today. He did not. But we'll get back with that. So, Larry, looks like we're just seeing a couple of the cars a lap or more down coming in.
Yeah, Mike, just split it in half. There's 126, which is 6 laps from now. I see Cindric on pit road. I think you'll start to see some of them come now within the next 2 to 3 laps. Let's see if Chris Gale and Denny Hamlin runs it long. But remember what Jamie Lilly told us, that's a big deal on pit stop is that clutch.
Yes. There's Michael McDowell on the duck onboard camera. On McDowell, who is one of 9 cars currently 1 lap down. Jamie?
Yeah, Larry just mentioned it, the 11, and what are they going to do when they come back down pit road? Listen.
I'm going to call for this usual. We're going to have put on the usual. If I don't have approval,
agree. I mean, either way, even if they get going again, it's going to be difficult track position. So.
No corrections been on it. So would this be a hydraulic issue with Hamlin?
Air pocket, something in it.
Austin Cindric had an uncontrolled tire on his stop. Yes, 5 of them.
Can make up a lot of ground short fitting here. Much like Larry Cutler on that 11 cars. I have a lot of patience with that.
Austin Dillon and here's Christopher Bell. Regan.
Today, starting off the run too tight. The problem is it transitions too quick to lose.
Belly and Lady.
Too tight. You see that chassis adjustment right there? They work the left side, 4 tires for Lane.
Chris Buescher, Kyle Busch, George Jones, Chase Briscoe getting service, and here's the leader, Kyle Larson.
No surprise there. I think they stayed out 1 lap too many than last time.
14 of the 126 laps today. Regan.
And Mike, it's been all good things on the radio. Pretty pleased with what's green flag pit stop says what the car is doing. The biggest thing he said this last run was I struggled a little bit more when I got to track.
Whichever the guy was going to fit, was today. That car was just too tight for him. He said, I need more than I need right now. We'll see if they can get that 22 where he
Josh Berry, Alex Bowman, and Denny Hamlin in and out. Ron Priest comes in along with Nemechek and Gilliland.
Seemed like they had a story on. Yeah, it seemed like they had as much trouble on the pit stop as they did taking off there for getting Hamlin.
Carson Hocevar, who won yesterday's truck race, assumes the lead. He and teammate Justin Haley have not yet been to pit road, nor has Daniel Suarez.
You see that on the scoring pile there, you see Carson Hocevar and Justin Haley. Now Haley's on pit road, but they're definitely running this run long. Hocevar leading the race right now.
Oh, lost his backup. And it fell off.
Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, and if you're going to have one that is that long, it's almost better to have it under a green flag pit.
Then being Ty Dillon, who is as this cycles through with 30. Now, you. 7 during the stage break. Here in Kansas.
COPD is an ugly reality as this world just keeps getting smaller. But then, Trelegy helped us see things a little differently. With 3 medicines in 1 inhaler, Trelegy keeps airways open for a full 24 hours and prevents future flare-ups. Lung function, so he can breathe more.
Trelegy won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure. Thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
COPD, because breathing should be beautiful all day and night.
Mothers, we appreciate the simple things. The life less common. Behind Mother's new California Gold ceramic line of products. The easiest way to clean, correct, and protect your way to a whole new level of deep, ceramic, glass-like clarity, superior hydrophobic protection, and head-turning shine. Mother's California Gold. That mothers love. Harvey's New English Go Barbecue. Go together.
Harvey's, we have the meats.
Check it out.
Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza. With 28 cheese-filled bites around the crust. Every starting at $12.99. Get it on the Pizza Hut app.
NASCAR fans, you are the drivers. What are you waiting for? Sign up for the free NASCAR Fan Rewards Loyalty Program today. Next week, it's All-Star Weekend from historic North Wilkesboro Speedway. The Cup Series chases the
31 laps to go here with 56 complete out of 85. First come in, and now Ty Gibbs makes his stop complete. The cycle, Kyle Larson back out to a 3.6 second lead over Chase Elliott and Christopher Bell, 6.7 back. First Toyota, then Ryan Blaney's Ford, 8 seconds back of the leader. Here's the top 10 as they run, and in the right column, you see where they were running before the stop. Denny Hamlin came in 5th and came out 10th. And we'll show you again what happened here.
Well, he's got the clutch issues, and you're going to see this right front tire carrier. The lug nut is off, and then he drops the extra lug nut, grabs the original lug nut, puts it back on. The jackman actually grabbed it, raised it. Just like we talked about when he did, Jamie told us the clutch is not going to work. The plan was to get it rolling. He revved the engine up and just shoved it as hard as he could in the first gear, so that's not going to be very good on that transit.
But Kevin, you made the point.
With everybody, but yeah, with a lot less position with a 17-second pit stop. If that happens, likely going to be the last car on the lead lap.
All right, time out.
31:57. Flat better tires there. To 3. 1 inside. On the main. Get inside just in. Yeah. Yeah, all clear, all clear. So the June 3 here. He goes. Press computers at the line. Down. Level 1 down. You've got a 10 lap advantage there. Clear. He needed 76. 20 to go for him. Stevens, short, quarter clear, off there by 2. Very top, by 3. Still by 2.
20 to go in stage. Got Larson up by 3 seconds. 21 cars on the lead lap. How to get to it if pit stop had a commit line. Was just on pit road.
Teams. We got Team 2311, owned by this guy. And every time they come in with Denny Hamlin. But Denny Hamlin races for another team, Joe Gibbs Racing. Yeah, Super Bowl winning head coach Joe Gibbs. And they both share the track with Legacy Motor Club, co-owned by 7-time Cup champ Jimmy Johnson. 3 epic teams, 4 legendary owners, all going after one cup. Now you're up to speed. You in?
It is stressful out there. A lot of phone companies are making noise about great deals, but how do you know you're not paying more? We only think that comfort us that we trust. That's coming to Team Up. When you switch, not only can you save 20% versus the other big guys, the price of your rate plan won't change for 5 years, guaranteed. Sometimes it's nice when things don't change. T-Mobile's new experience plan. Families can save 20% today, and your price won't change tomorrow.
Got another couple pairings ordered. I need 3 medium pepperoni, 2 ordered wings, breadsticks, cheese sticks, brownies.
All right, please, sir.
This order is my address. See you at the summit. We're making you Papa pairings for $6.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
It's not about the cars, the speed, the action. It's not about the party or the long weekend. It's about them. The ones that gave everything. This Memorial Day weekend, we honor the fallen at America's Home for Racing. The 66th running of the Coca-Cola 600.
Welcome back to Kansas, where Kyle Larson now has a 2.3 second lead over Chase Elliott. Christopher Bell in third. Ryan Blaney in fourth. Josh Berry, top five.
Kyle Larson, of course, up front leading right now. Lost just a little bit of time off of that lead. But take a listen to the detailed information Cliff Daniels just gave us.
And we talk about that right rear tire of right through that tire sometimes, and we've seen rear tire out. So you definitely, we saw Ty Dillon's earlier down to the cord. We know how far he ran, but he is definitely hard on that right rear.
10 drivers. His lap time last time by was only 5th or 6th quickest of the top 10.
And I think Cliff does a great job. You know, with Kyle, you definitely have to help manage and pull the reins back on him to keep him in the wheelhouse of taking care of things. And you don't want to and take that fire out of him. But Kyle Larson definitely will stand on the gas. Do a good job of managing that.
Josh Berry, have a look at Christian Bell here. This is for 4th place.
Yeah, well, we saw that 20 car fall off big time last time, late in the second half of that run. So seems to be that 20 car goes loose based upon the information that we've had. So when that car goes loose, it just becomes really difficult to make speed on the entry to the corner. Or steer that car to the right, you just can't be aggressive with it. So anytime that car starts to get loose, making good lap time consistently is going to be very difficult to do. But definitely second half.
Berry moves up to 4th. The sports today. With Bell in 5th in the Toyota, as we've discussed, and 6th, Alex Bowman, who started 19th, but otherwise Bowman's been in the top 10 all day.
We knew he had a strong car yesterday. His long run speed was really good, and really today it looks like he needed a Hendrick car. I know that a little bit of struggle with that regular tire going down, but these other 3 cars, Larson, Elliott, in the mid.
His 4 fastest stops of the season have come today, so everybody has risen to the occasion for Keselowski. And behind him in 8th, Benny Hamlin. Hamlin restarted 7th. Began the day in 14th. 4 Kansas wins for Hamlin.
Well, he's not going to win today with the trouble that he has with that clutch. It's just going to be almost impossible. These guys had trouble yesterday with the regular tire. Got into the wall in practice, and he has run great all day today.
Ryan Preece had a couple of runs up toward the front earlier in the race. He's been hanging around the top 10 most all day, and his RFK 4.
Yeah, qualified at the back of the pack, worked his way right up to the front. And these guys they've really been solid all year.
Kyle scraped the wall in qualifying, started in 35th, trying for his 3rd Kansas win, and trying here to break into the top 10.
Yeah, got a little loose.
That's a good statement right there.
About that earlier with Jamie McMurray up on top of the trailer. They were trying to figure out how to get him tightened up.
Yeah.
He definitely back in stuck right there from that 8.
Joey Logano, last week's winner, must be breathing a sigh of relief now that in his pocket and will be on.
Absolutely. I mean, he didn't have a top 5 to his name yet. Obviously, the penalty at Talladega was unexpected. Had a group. But you could tell in his pre-race conversation today, Clint, that he wasn't very confident in his car.
Behind him, Chris Buescher, who fired off from the outside pole and finished 2nd here last year by the thinnest of margins. He ended up in outside the top 20 after Taking its way back, Regan.
Like that's exactly right. They're doing everything they can. A little bit of slow pit stop early in the race. Got them back just a little ways. But the larger issue for the 17 cars, they have been struggling to get that car tightened up. Let's see. Well, you got something on this one. The top line. I can tell you that team is surprised. Stage number one, no damage from him, but he is subject to speed out there on the track today.
We've got lots 14, and now falls to Justin Haley. See, Reddick and Wall is still wiggling around quite a bit. Coming to 40.
You guys aren't in traffic, and Elliott's right behind him. Every time he gets close, and I say he, Larson, to those four cars racing side by side, is really nowhere to go. He's being patient, doing exactly what his crew chief put in has told him to do.
And now you're going to have another battle because Noah Gragson just ahead of him as the last car on the lead lap. Then Ross Chastain. Not of cars. What's he going to do?
Go to the end right there. With the distance,
This should be one of them. Then he has
you to break. When you have a dominant like this, it makes it easier for the competition. Let's get closer to him.
Yeah,
he's not happy about this stage, but he's and close.
Right? Yeah.
the race leader is Chastain. And Larson drops to the left. So it's Chastain's going to stay on the lead lap. Win stage 2.
We talked about that right rear tire with Kyle Larson, and you can definitely, we heard Chris talk about it, and we saw that day. We definitely
14th time, Kyle Larson has with the 2 stickers. We will have pit stops coming up.
Johnny boy.